Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're still watching The Breakfast Show live on Nile TV International. And in this segment of our show, we're going to be talking about the dissemination of false information and rumors through the social media. And this issue was tackled at the 8th National Youth Conference here in Egypt. And President Sisi was keen on discussing the issue with the youth. We will be talking about the importance of raising awareness of our youth and Egyptian people to face these rumors and false information. And on this issue, we're glad to be joined here at the studio by Dr. Amany, Haoula, writer. Thank you very much for joining us, and good morning. Have a good day.
Good morning for all of you and all of your viewers.
A very good morning to you, ma'am. And as my dear colleague Naveen said, speaking about rumors, fabrications, false stories, whether on social media outlets or in some Western media outlets, well, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said it, and more than once. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi just returned from the G7, then followed by TICAD. Then it was a very successful visit to Kuwait. And now he is in the United States to participate in the 74th UN General Assembly. Egypt is regaining its position worldwide, continental, regional, and internationally too. How do you see the timing of this vicious campaign, and how do you see its effects on the ground, and how we can stop it from spreading?
Okay. You asked a very strong question, actually. We start with the timing. Exactly, it's very right timing for the enemies of the country. They choose the right time to tackle this campaign to put Mr. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Egypt in a critical position. So for all the naive people or the ignorant people who don't understand, they have to recognize that because of the acceleration of the improvement in the economic status of Egypt, these crazy actions have been taken to try to stop or at least de-accelerate Egypt from achieving our goals. The second point, actually, we cannot say it's demonstrations. I've been watching what's going on through this campaign, actually, is the right word. Because these people, they don't have requests, they don't have agenda, they just have one thing. They have a mission. Mm-hmm. They have a mission just to let Sisi go. They don't have any other request. They don't ask for improving the life means. They don't ask for accelerating the corruption eradication. They don't ask for anything, just one mission. They are going through for it. It's leaving, make Abdel Fattah al-Sisi leaving his position. Mm-hmm. Because this is the mission. They are asked to try to achieve it, mm-hmm. because this is the only thing our enemies want to achieve it, mm-hmm. the removal of Abdel Fattah al-Sisi.
Right. During the 8th National Youth Conference that took place recently here in Egypt, this issue was tackled and in details. How do you see the significance of tackling such issues with the Egyptian youth? The president was keen on discussing this issue at the conference, and of course dissemination of false information and rumors through the social media has its effects on the youth, in specific on this category, as they are maybe the strongest category of the society using the social media. So how do you see the significance of this?
Actually, they play with this important part of our life very well, because there is some kind of regression of using the newspapers or the normal or classic means of media like television or newspapers. So all of us are depending on the internet and social media to know what's recent, what's the latest. Then when they put all their like army, they have an army actually in the social media to put all the false information. They want to make it like real. Even people, not only the youth, anybody using the social media, when he is attacked from all directions, from all media outlets with the same information, he will start to think it's true. This is how they are trying to play it, to the extent that some funny results from that, like when the Ganaza of some of the funeral of some of our soldiers is used to be put in the news as if it's the demonstrations nowadays. And
the celebrations of the fans of Al Ahly after clinching the Super Cup of Egypt, it was used as if it is one of the demonstrations. Exactly, ma'am.
But yani, what you are mentioning is happening now. Yeah. But they are using also old videos from 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and they are making some kind of treating the video, putting the different sound effects, and trying to convince people this is happening now. To that kind of cheating they are reaching.
Yeah, but ma'am, have we learned the lessons as Egyptians? Because now I think the case is, or what's going on is totally clear, or at least in a way. Have we forgotten what happened after toppling Morsi? Have we forgotten what the leaders of the terrorist brotherhood organization said in front of the cameras, that what the terrorism in Sinai and the terrorist attacks all over Egypt are going to stop whenever their president is going to return back? Have we forgotten all this? I mean, have we learned the lesson that anything should be, anything circulated on social media should be verified first before we believe it, or we're still that passionate, and whenever there is someone who is faking with his or her facial features that he or she is crying or asking for something or stuff like that, we are going to feel sympathy with him or her?
Yani, so simple answer, we is not including these people you were watching in the videos, because we, the Egyptian people, if we say 90%, 85%, 95%, whatever, because it's not calculated, they are we. But if we are talking about 1% of people who are, most of them are ignorant. And they are trying to be manipulated by some nice words like we will help you to find jobs, we will help you to, we are the people of God, we are the brotherhood people, especially in the low social level. They don't understand and they don't have the information. They feel happy. They think they are helping the people who are in a, the regime put them in a bad position, and they will gain a lot of things. Even directly with some agents, they are directly receiving money and they are arranging the campaign. And the other people who are very ignorant, and you will discover, I was tracing them, most of they are very young youth and very ignorant people. There is no educated person in this campaign.
Right. As you're talking about youth, how can we raise the awareness of the youth to deal with these type of rumors and false information?
We have now short-term and long-term plan. We have to put it. The short-term plan, but by you, by all the media programs, all the channels can reach youth, and through the ministries of education. It's a time for the السنة الدراسية.
The academic year.
The academic year is starting. They have to give them awareness and to improve their awareness about what's happening. We have to start say this is not a place for political issue. We are not about political issues. We are talking about patriotic, about being understanding what's going on in our country in a very simple way, in a very we are not asking love the president or be following all he said. Of course not. We don't say that. We should have different opinions, and this is the nature of life. Some of them are agreeing what the governmental plan is achieving. Some of us have some points to disagree with. This is normal, but the abnormal is the way to express that. Did any of these people mention any plan to have a correction of what's going on? Never. They are asking for one question because they have one mission. To let
mercenaries being paid to execute a mission. But ma'am, as you've kindly mentioned, the freedom of speech issue or the freedom of expression, and this was tackled in the statements released by political parties or the coalition of Egyptian political parties yesterday. Well, the freedom of expression is a constitutional right for every Egyptian citizen within there is full respect of law, and in a peaceful way, far from spreading chaos and far from destabilizing the nation in a way. And they urged or asked the Egyptian people to stop those terrorists from using the freedom of speech as a tool to destabilize the country. How we can differentiate between someone who is really want to express himself and someone who is using this freedom of expression as a tool to destabilize us?
It's very easy. Yeah, you can discover it easily by the way or the content of his plan. He is asking for correction, for discussing different points of view, or he just wants to destroy. He wants to collect people to run in the streets, spreading the uncivilized way of expression. It's very easy to discover, and also you will find it from the CV of the person. The history doesn't lie. When you find most of the accounts in the social media who are offensive are all made just September 2019. It's very obvious, but people have to recognize, have to be smart enough to discover.
This statement that Nermeen just mentioned also stressed on the importance of defending Egypt against all terrorist or destructive plans. How do you see the significance of this statement and its impact on the youth and the Egyptians?
Actually, we have to put marketing of our plans in a better way. For example, the guy in Spain who was tackling the issue of palaces. Actually, it's only one palace in the capital, the new capital, which is logic. How we will receive our guests, how we will manage to control all the issues of the governmental issues. It's through a residence, a place to manage, but they are putting the image in a very bad way. Of course, it's false because it's made like normal governmental buildings, nothing extra. But when they are mentioning only this point and ignoring that before building this place, the system builds about 400 youth centers.
Housing units.
No, we are talking about health. They are comparing, instead of building a palace, build a hospital. Okay, we built about 400 different kinds of either health centers or hospitals, or improving the president hospitals already. But because actually there is some kind of dealing with the marketing of our
I beg your
project.
pardon, ma'am. I should disagree with this a little bit. Is our memory that weak? I mean, it's just during 2019, the initiative of 100 million health state to treat virus C, it was very successful and it gained the admiration of the whole world. It's not only here in Egypt, and it's now a model to be followed by many, if not all, the countries all over the world. In addition to the new cities also scattered all over Egypt, it's not only for the high-ranking people, it's for the ordinary persons. Build it and they'll come, as the Americans are saying. And no official document was released to say that something wrong happened in any of these places. All those who want to try to affect this, they have nothing to show in a paper or a document. But here I should focus on what you've kindly mentioned, the positive impacts on the ground. Should we propagate more for what you're saying? I mean,
Yes.
the national projects, I mean, the successive initiatives, I mean, the state activities.
Yes, this is the point, because not because we have short memory, but because we have enemies are trying to stress and to make us focus on the negative side of everything, even if it's not true. Although we are not a nation of angels, we have mistakes, we have some corrupted people. We have to control them more and not to give the enemies a chance to say that we are not strong enough in eradicating of our problems. But we have to mention, we have to give the people feedback quickly. For example, for corrupted cases, why don't we give the release of the result, whatever happening in the cases, to make people feel calm, to make people feel more trust, feeling that the procedures was in the right direction. But because most of our details are not mentioned, people they have a chance to receive false information from others.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, Egypt is passing through a very important development stage in its history. Now, how can such rumors and false information disrupt or hamper its development stage if left?
They are using all their tools, all the media outlets outside, all the social army, where what we call electronic committees. People are making hundreds and thousands of accounts to make false informations. All of this are trying hard to stop us, but actually they will have some kind of harm, of course, but it will be just in the repetition of our improvement. Maybe it will decrease the acceleration of our improvement, but it will never stop it. The will of our president and the will of our people and the understanding of this false information will be limited, even if it affects to a little extent, but it will be limited and it will not cause a huge destruction, but it will affect a little bit the reputation.
Dr. Amany Haoula, our dear guest live here in the studio, our writer, thank you very much for your input, ma'am, and have a very good day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. And dear viewers, with this we come to the end of this edition of The Breakfast Show. You were in company of myself, Naveen Ramzi, and my dear colleague, Nermeen Abdurrahman. Many thanks for watching.